Hey beer tubers, it's Ryan back with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, some craft beer in a can. We're going to look at Modus Hoperandi. This is by Ska Brewing. Take a look at the artwork on there. They're out in Durango, Colorado. I cannot get their beers, so this was sent to me from YouTube user Tantrum777, aka Jameson from Jameson's Beer Reviews. So, opener, will not be needing that today. Let's get this thing cracked open. Ever since Chris from Beer Geek Nation reviewed this beer, I've been wanting to try it. So I'm finally glad to get the opportunity. What's nice is I don't know the ABV on it. I'm guessing it's around 7.5%. It doesn't say on the can. What does say on the can is right there on the bottom, the best by date, which is 7/31/11. So I don't know how far out that is from when they can it. Got about 3 finger heads. The head just kind of went up real nice. I kind of poured it Randy Mosher style, so there's not a whole lot of carbonation coming off from the bottom, but very clear beer. It tinges right to orange, kind of a dark gold into orange color. Mostly large bubbles on the head, except for around the center and the top. There's some small bubbles, but pretty much that off-white kind of yellow head. So pretty much spot on looking IPA. Let's get the aroma on it. It reminds me of that sort of mid-country IPA aroma. You get some sweeter hop notes, like a sweet orange, hints of tropical fruits, and then a bit of like an earthy floral character in there as well. Maybe even a touch of like a spicy hop note too. And you do get some malt sweetness coming through as well. A little bit of caramel notes in there, but yeah, it reminds me a lot of some of these mid-country IPAs that you get from like a Bell's, Founders, kind of Avery to a certain extent, but I'm ready to dig in. Cheers. That's nice. It's right off the bat. It's really smooth. It's got like a nice, juicy kind of hop character up front to go with. Like, there's definitely some bitterness in there. It's like nice, juicy hop character. Then the malt kind of comes in, and it's very smooth. It's kind of like a cleaner hop bitterness on the palate. Actually, as far as the malt goes, it comes in midway a little bit. I get a good amount of bready character. I'm going to touch of caramel. Finishes fairly dry. There's some lingering hop character as well on the palate. The more I sip on this one, more the hop sweetness kind of goes away. It starts going into a real nice kind of clean, well, I shouldn't say clean. There's some character to the bitterness. It kind of gets into a resiny kind of piney notes on there. And then you still get a touch of sweetness up front with that kind of sweeter orange. But yeah, like a big time kind of resiny. It reminds me a touch of the Dugana that I just reviewed, although that's a double IPA. This is it's teetering more towards a hop forward IPA. Because the hops are kind of the focus of this beer for sure. Wow, this one's changing quite a bit as I drink on it. The hop intensity is getting more and more as I go, and it's really just that kind of dank resiny character. Kind of getting into sort of that pine needles, but mostly kind of resiny, kind of green, earthy hop character. It starts to really kind of dry your mouth out more. And linger around more. It's not as clean as I initially thought in terms of just kind of refreshing the palate. Now those hops are kind of sticking around. It's definitely I mean, for an IPA, it's pretty much medium body, medium plus body. So the hop flavor on this one, it just really sticks around so that every drink is kind of piling on to your tongue. And so the malt character underneath kind of isn't as present when I was first drinking on it, because it is a little on the lighter side, and the hops definitely start to dominate. So this one's, yeah, it's one of those IPAs. I typically don't see them too often where the actual bitterness increases the more you drink it. A lot of times the malt, as it warms up, will come out. You get more of those malt flavors, more of the sweetness will appear. So far drinking this one, I'm not getting that kind of character off it. So far as grading goes on Modus Hoperandi from Ska Brewing, I'm going to go with a B. I think it's an above average beer. The more I drink it, the more the hop character kind of sticks around. It's really drying out my mouth. And I really like dry beers because they go really good with food. And IPAs usually go really well with food. But this one's getting like almost like chalky kind of aftertaste on my palate. There's a good hop character there. I like this this is more kind of middle of the country leaning, maybe a little more towards the East Coast than the West Coast as far as the hop character goes. If you guys haven't seen, Ska Brewing did a parody of Dogfish Head show on Discovery Channel. Go check that out on the internet. Absolutely hysterical video, and I'm glad that I could finally drink one of their beers because they did an awesome job with that parody. So that's going to wrap it up today. B for Modus Operandi. Until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.